and welcome to a press conference to formally announce the winner of St. Lucia, Miss St. Lucia World 2021, Miss Tyler Theophane. I am Jessy Leonce from the GIS, and we have collaborated with Events Saint Lucia's exclusive and official license holders for the Miss World 2021 International Pageant for today's press engagement. If you're just joining us, a special good afternoon to you on air, online. We hope you are keeping safe, continuing to adhere to the protocols. Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the in-studio presence of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, P.S. Donald Invite, also Events Company of St. Lucia Chief Executive Officer, Lorraine Sidney, and our Miss St. Lucia World 2021, Miss Tyler Theophane. And we also want to recognize representatives joining us in studio and via the Zoom online platform from the Cultural Development Foundation, the Citizenship by Investment Program, Export St. Lucia, St. Lucia Hospitality and Tourism Association, also the St. Lucia Hotel of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, and Invest St. Lucia. We also have the other team members from Team Events here with us and members of the media joining us via Zoom as well. I bid you all a pleasant good afternoon. I tell you, it smells as good as it looks in here. The view, if we could get a wide shot on what's happening on set, we have the PS from the Ministry of Tourism, the head chief from Events Company, and also our queen, Miss St. Lucia World 2021. I want to start with you, Chief Executive Officer, Events Company, Miss Sidani. Today signals the official starting point, I would say, on the Road to Miss World contest in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 6 months' time.
Yes.
But it is also the culmination of a rigorous talent search under the global pandemic conditions. If you could just take us through the circumstances that led to Events Company being tasked with this responsibility and also acquiring the license and maneuvering through an audition process while adhering to the COVID-19 protocols.
Thank you, Jessy. Thank you for having us. Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a beautiful occasion, beautiful in that we're here to officially launch and introduce Miss Tyler Theophane. Yes, she's our representative for Miss World 2021, as you said. Events Company of St. Lucia has acquired the official exclusive Miss World license. And of course, with that comes a world, pardon the pun, of opportunities, because we're now able to capitalize and make good of the strength and the power that brand brings. So we're here to really introduce Tyler, to let St. Lucia know who's going to be representing us at Miss World, and that's happening December 16th, Puerto Rico, actually. And Tyler was selected on the 23rd of May. We had an audition. We had 5 beautiful, talented young ladies auditioning to represent St. Lucia at the Miss World competition come later this year. And those young ladies, they showcased their talent, their skills at being interviewed, their communication skills, their poise, their charitable work. So it was a very, very it was an audition of a very high standard, and Tyler was able to win, and she is now going to be representing us come December. As you said, Jessy, because of the pandemic and because of the protocols that were imposed, it was a closed audition, limited persons. CMO, thank you CMO, actually gave us the approval to host it, but with very strict conditions. So it wasn't a show, a queen show, as we would have had it been a normal year. So yes, we had a few persons there. Obviously the contestants, they were each allowed to bring a chaperone, and just the events team, our judges and our auditors. So it was very, very selected, unfortunately, but fortunately that we were able to get it done. Tyler, of course, she put her best foot forward, and now she's here, she's representing us come December. Happy to introduce to St. Lucia, Miss St. Lucia World, Tyler Theophane.
Wonderful. We're going to come back to the audition in just a moment.
Sure.
So much happening in that period.
Yes.
But first, Madam PS, St. Lucia stands among the tourism destinations globally that are trying to get back the grip of tourism that they once enjoyed, maximizing on all the opportunities for exposure more specifically. Can you speak on the island's visibility at top-tier global events like Miss World 2021?
Thank you very much, Jessy. Good evening, everybody in studio and at home or in the cars, where else. It will be remiss of me not to touch on culture and creative industries, because our ministry also spans culture and creative industries. Actually sitting in for Honorable Minister Belrose, and of course she sends her apologies for not being on the set, but she's very well represented this afternoon. Before we go into the visibility on the stage, I also want to make the point that for us, pageantry has been a platform for young ladies to really express themselves in various ways and various talents on stage. We have seen pageantry from secondary schools, we have seen it at Independence, we have seen it at Carnival, but I think the win we have in Miss Saint Lucia World is that we have been able to sort of climax a developmental pathway, so that once a young lady, even if we divulge into other areas, in the next couple of years, but once a person who wants to display their creativity in a form of pageantry starts from the very infant stage, they can already set their eyes on this massive journey ending, or this climax that they would want to soar to, and even to represent our country. And in saying that, St. Lucia and the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of the world, we're really trying to come out of this COVID cloud. And this coming out of COVID cloud, it really presented a good opportunity for Events Saint Lucia to really focus on some of the things that we wanted to achieve under the policy end of our ministry, culture and creative industries and tourism combined. And we're very, very elated that as an agency that they've been able to, pull the roof down, I would say, to really ensure that St. Lucia, has that license and we're able to represent on that stage. We know when it comes to Miss World, there's a plethora of countries being represented. The viewership is enormous. And so it's really a no-brainer for St. Lucia to be on that stage. And what a better face and vessel to represent St. Lucia than what we have here. So I think this presents a very, very good opportunity for us to showcase St. Lucia, not only with our geographical features, but also with our human talent and our human capital.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Miss St. Lucia World 2021, first of all, congratulations on emerging top choice in the auditions. We just want to find out, we want to know, you are no stranger to pageantry. You've been crowned Carnival Queen in 2016. But how does this opportunity make you feel right now?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much. But I like to look at it not only from a perspective of how it makes me feel, but also the entire country. What it can do for my country, for my people, for my family, for my community. It does bring a lot of joy to our hearts to know that I got the opportunity to represent my people and my country on such a large platform, such a large stage, to just basically bring back the culture, help network our country, basically sell our country, and come back and just provide as much charitable resources as I possibly can. Because with Miss World, a lot of what happens is surrounded by charity. They help support a lot of persons. They raise funds. They raise about £250 million just to support charities, and that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to bring back to my country.
Wonderful. Let's talk about the audition process. What was that like for you?
It was a bit tedious, and within such a short space of time, I was able to just bring back a lot of what I lost, well, what I felt like I lost in the past 4 years, because I haven't been on stage in about 4 years. And it brought a lot of joy, it brought a lot of excitement knowing that I got the opportunity again to just be on stage. And on the night, it didn't feel like I had any nerves. I didn't feel any discomfort. On the night, I was just super excited. I had the most amazing support system, especially my mom, my chaperones. And of course, Neva, she was very, very helpful. She called every single day. Even when I lost my voice and I wasn't able to speak, I had to come up front and speak to all of the persons from events, and it was not easy. I was trying to force out words, and they always told me to keep the faith. They always told me it's going to come back. They gave me some remedies, and I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity.
Wonderful. I want to come back to you, Ms. Sidani. Let's talk about the audition a little bit. What was that like? What did the I don't want to say the contestants, but really those going up for this position, what did they have to contend with?
Okay, sure, Jessy. So in addition to having a limited audience and a limited scope within which to operate, what probably most of St. Lucia wouldn't know is that the official Miss World license was granted to us exactly 1 month before the audition. And we were to present to Miss World 30 days after a winner or a person, a representative. So persons like Tyler and the other contestants actually had about 3 weeks to prepare. But Jessy, if you had seen that show, you would have thought they had 3 months. Absolutely high standard. And I think the strategy of hand-picking past winners, again, given the limitations, it's not business as usual. It's not a normal year. You know, so hand-picking persons who had already proven themselves, past winners. So we had all past queens and 1 first runner-up, right? So, I mean, that strategy,
creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. Yeah, that strategy really worked because those girls hit the stage and it was just as if they had never left it. So we had talent, which carried the bulk of the marks, I think 30%. We had, each girl had to present a beauty with a purpose video. And that's big for Miss World. What it does, it gives you a bit of a inside look, a glimpse as to what charitable work the girl or the contestant is interested in. So they prepare that video beforehand. And that, again, was such high quality and such passion. You know, we knew we were dealing with any girl that came out on top would very well represent us. Then there was interview, of course, which is always, you know, a bit nerve-wracking, is it? Yeah. But Tyler did very well. And we had the gong. You can't have a pageant without a gong. So we did that as well. And swimsuit, of course, swimwear. Interestingly, in the Miss World competition, it's not swimwear per se, it's body fitness, I think it's called. So it's more than just looking good in a swimsuit, you know. There's a lot of emphasis on fitness and physique and proportion. So that's what the judges were looking for. And Tyler emerged as the winner. And she's here today.
Wonderful. The pageant the international pageant is scheduled for the 16th of December.
Yes.
This means that our queen has 6 months to prepare.
Yes.
What will this constitute?
Oh boy. Yeah, Tyler gets no more sleep from now on. I'm just kidding. No, but we have a packed schedule. And what's going to happen now, we're going to send out some advertisements to try to recruit persons, professionals in various fields to train Tyler. So she's going to have a Spanish coach. I mean, obviously, she's going to Puerto Rico. She must be able to speak some Spanish, you know. That would give us a bit of leverage, I think. She's versed in patois.
Correct.
But yes, CDF, of course, is on board, and they'll be doing everything cultural to assist Tyler in terms of her dress, her patois speaking ability, if you need help with that. Then there's elocution lessons. She's going to have a nutritionist, a dietitian, makeup. They are going to be about, I would think, 7 to 10 professionals working with Tyler. And you're right, Jessy, 6 months to get it done. But we're working with a professional, so I don't think it's, you know, an insurmountable task. She will be ready.
And you are confident, Miss Saint Lucia?
I am very, very confident.
Wonderful. I just want to come to the way in which everything happened. You indicated that there was a time frame within which you had to select an individual.
Yes.
Is this the way things will happen going into the future with selecting a Miss Saint Lucia World going forward?
We hope not. We hope that COVID would give us a break and that we can go back to normal, kind of forgetting what that looked like. But yes, we're hoping to go back to normal. And what that means, Jessy, is that our vision, and I mean, we've not had a chance to speak with stakeholders. We've obviously spoken with our parent ministry, and thank you, PS, for all the support. I mean, everything we do is because our parent ministry is behind us, and they've given us the endorsement to go ahead and do it, and we appreciate that. But our vision, Jessy, is for us to have a Miss St. Lucia show, but to work up from the community level. So, I mean, if I were to map it out in terms of timing, we see, say, November this year, there, we start to work with the various communities and districts for them to have their individual pageants so that they can send a representative to Miss Saint Lucia, and we have a proper Miss Saint Lucia Queen Show, as we've done with the Carnival Queen Show, now rebranded to Miss Saint Lucia. And then the winner from that show will obviously be our representative for Miss World next year. So once things can go back to some degree of normalcy, that would be the approach.
Okay, wonderful. We are due for a break at this time. When we come back, the individuals on set will not be here. They will be back later on in the program, however, to answer a few more questions, and we'll be fielding questions from the media later on. But when we come back from this break, immediately we'll have representatives from Export St. Lucia, the Cultural Development Foundation, and the Citizenship by Investment program for St. Lucia coming on to speak to us about their role in this Miss St. Lucia World 2021 effort.
For over 70 years, Miss World has been the planet's most prominent beauty pageant, expanding its scope and moving with the times. Today, Miss World has transformed into a celebration of women's intellect, achievement, and beauty. The format of Miss World today has vastly changed, and it's leading the way in catering to our ever-changing society and the increased demands of fans. Miss World's dedicated social media channels, news stories, and daily broadcasts generate huge viewing figures around the globe. Always evolving and continually looking for new ways to innovate, Miss World introduced a new event in 2017 with the Head-to-Head Challenge.
I'm Frankie Chenna, and this is the Miss World Head-to-Head Challenge.
Featuring a daily magazine-style show.
You can also stay up to date by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Mobstar, Twitter, and YouTube.
Including interviews and special features with every single contestant.
The whole social media world has lit up because of the Miss World Head-to-Head Challenge.
This event proved to be hugely popular, and across all of our social media platforms in 2019 generated a staggering 1.3 billion views, with 15 million votes being cast. That's a new record for Miss World. Over the years, Miss World has had close ties with major international events, from the Olympics to the Football World Cup, using the popularity of the show to further increase support for host cities. Today, the organization continues its long-standing social responsibility program, Beauty with a Purpose.
It means leading by example. It means doing what's right, not what's easy.
This commitment to helping those in need doesn't stop with the final. It's a year-round program which travels the globe helping the most disadvantaged.
When you see something that's wrong, you don't look away. You act upon it and you become the change.
This is a huge commitment from the reigning Miss World, as she, the Continental Queens, and the Miss World CEO Julia Morley travel to countries in crisis as they launch humanitarian campaigns to raise money and global support for the most needy in our society.
Every Miss World has a legacy. Every Miss World has a passion. And by building on one another's legacies, we create change.
It's a very emotional moment.
Nelson Mandela therefore salutes the Beauty with a Purpose program.
The Miss World event is constantly evolving, keeping the format fresh and innovative. This year, our media partners will have a host of brand new content featuring 22 half-hour head-to-head challenge shows, a 70th anniversary special event featuring past winners, a 2-hour highlights feature showcasing the best of 70 years of Miss World, a red carpet special event in the build-up to the Miss World final, and for the first time ever, a 3-hour global telecast.
Puerto Rico!
Which means more fashion, more beauty, and more Miss World. Miss World is truly a global event and spans the 4 corners of the earth.
I feel like I'm walking through history every step I take here in Washington, D.C.
Claiming its rightful place as the biggest beauty event on the planet. For 70 years, the Miss World event has been bringing countries together in a celebration of beauty, fashion, and intellect. And for the very first time in its history, the Miss World Festival moves to Latin America. An agreement has been reached to host the 70th anniversary Miss World Final in the stunning tropical paradise of Puerto Rico.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. This is a press conference to formally announce the winner of Miss St. Lucia World 2021, Miss Tyler Theophane. And she was just on set just a minute ago with the chief, Madam-in-Chief at the Events Company Limited St. Lucia. And we also had the head over, the permanent secretary, over at the Ministry of Tourism, P.S. Vite, speaking to us on the impact not only culturally, the significance of this culturally, and also for our tourism sector. You would be aware that as a destination, we're trying to get things back on the up and up, maximizing all opportunities and exposure like Miss World 2021 is definitely something that St. Lucia wants to be in on. We now have on set from the Cultural Development Foundation, Mrs. Ramona Henry Wynn. We also have from the Citizenship by Investment Program, Ms. Tajma Brown, and last but certainly by no means least, we have from Export St. Lucia, Ms. Sunita Daniel. Good afternoon to you all three.
Good afternoon, Jessy.
Wonderful. Since we heard CDF before the break, before you were on set, I want to start with you, Mrs. Wynn. Talk to us about the significance of Miss World and St. Lucia participating in Miss World this year, as well as the role of the Cultural Development Foundation in that effort.
The CDF is very elated to have been invited to be a part of this venture. We believe that it's important for St. Lucia, given the times within which we operate. We know that everything has not been the same due to COVID. A lot has changed, and if St. Lucia wants to bring back the St. Lucia brand on the market, ensure that the name St. Lucia is put out there, and we know what the brand has done with regards to tourism. So what a wonderful opportunity for the CDF to be a part of this venture and ensure that visitors know what St. Lucia culture is all about, an appreciation for what is authentically St. Lucian, and the CDF will assist ECSL in preparing a program of education and cultural training for the contestant. Also, we will be assisted with putting together the cultural package that the contestant has to present on the world stage, and we want to ensure that there's a high level of authenticity. We want to ensure that the contestant understands what St. Lucia's folklore is all about, what St. Lucia culture is all about. Ideally, we would not like to do it at this time. We would like to ensure, as PS said, that young ladies our culture is inculcated in them from very early o'clock. So we don't have to go to that rigor now, that they will be prepared from very early at the primary school level. That will be part of our curriculum. So when you get to the stages, more or less brushing up on that knowledge. And CDF will, given the short space of time, will put its best foot forward in assisting in putting that package together that represents our authentic culture, that is unique and does not exist anywhere else in the world. So we're very happy to be a part of this venture, and we will give ECSL the necessary support to ensure that St. Lucia's culture takes center stage.
Now, Mrs. Wynn, I know you were a judge for the auditions. I'm not going to let you off the hook for that, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. Ms. Danielle, we're certainly seeing that more than just products with packages and labels are being exported out of St. Lucia. Speak to the significance of us having individuals represent us to this extent at this time.
Thank you, Jessy, and good evening to all our viewers. Export St. Lucia is really happy to be part of this initiative. We have taken a really proactive approach towards exporting everything St. Lucian, whether it be product or services, and to always do it at an excellent standard. Actually, our tagline at Export St. Lucia is excellence at home and abroad. And for us, Miss World St. Lucia is an excellent opportunity for us to also showcase what is St. Lucian. And in terms of this excellent candidate that we have here and we're presenting to the world, Export St. Lucia is really pleased to be part of this. we think it's a really great opportunity for us to also expose our manufacturers, expose our products, and expose our service providers to the world market. Miss World presents to us an awesome opportunity, a huge target market that St. Lucian products would otherwise not have that kind of viewership. And so for us as an entity, it was really important for us to be part of this initiative and for us to participate with Events Company of St. Lucia and the other partners, because St. Lucia already has a very superior and excellent brand outside. In terms of tourism, St. Lucia is well known, and what we are trying to do through Brand St. Lucia is really tie in all other agencies that work in export markets together with that brand. And so for us it is very important, and we're very pleased to be part of this export product, which is really showcasing what St. Lucia is.
Wonderful. And the same for you, Ms. Tajma Brown from Citizenship by Investment. We just want to get from you what sort of opportunity this is in terms of, like Ms. Daniel indicated, tapping into our target market a little bit more, penetrating the market a little bit more, and attracting more and more individuals to invest in our island home.
Sure. Thanks, Jessy, and good evening to our listeners, viewers. Of course, we are honored to be part of, well, a presenting sponsor for Miss World. We at CIP St. Lucia, we do recognize that this is not the first time that a young lady has been chosen to partake in Miss World. But what truly makes this special for St. Lucia now is that it is from a government agency, from a Brand St. Lucia agency. And we understand that there's so much we can do on our own. And as an agency and as a product that carries that brand St. Lucia, we thought it would have augured well for CIP. Of course, we have created and we have built a market in investment migration for ourselves globally. As you may be aware, CIP is not so much of a local, our target market is not so much of a local market, but more of a global reach. And of course, partnering with Miss World and the brand Miss World would definitely shine a little more light on St. Lucia in terms of investment migration. We definitely look forward to working with Events Saint Lucia. I mean, it's a new event on the calendar for them. And we look forward to working with Tyler, who would showcase St. Lucia and by extension, the Citizenship by Investment program globally.
Wonderful. I come back to you, Mrs. Wynn. You had the wonderful opportunity, front and center stage, to see the participants, the contestants, and emerging from that is Miss Theophane, for Miss World 2021. Tell us what that experience was like, and having to choose from the queens, essentially.
It was a wonderful experience, but it was no easy task, because every girl came out very well prepared, and I was taken aback when I learned they only had 3 weeks to prepare. It shows you that there is talent in St. Lucia, and there are young ladies who are prepared to take on the challenge when it is presented to them. So for me, on stage, I saw a lot of poise, I saw talent, I saw persons who were willing to go deep within themselves and put out what it is that they had learned over time in pageantry. And it came out very clearly to me that every young lady who presented themselves as somebody who was willing to represent St. Lucia, to be St. Lucia's ambassador. And with seeing that presented on stage, it sort of lightened the burden of being a judge, because while the task was difficult, choosing the final, choosing or judging them, but it was a pleasant surprise, given as I said, the short window of time that they had to prepare. So I think I can speak for all the judges, it was not an easy task, but we managed to accomplish the vision. And I think well represented here this afternoon is Tyler.
Wonderful. Marvelous. I'd like to thank you all three for just weighing in on this official announcement coming in from Events Company Saint Lucia, Export Saint Lucia, Cultural Development Foundation, and CIP Saint Lucia are going to be working closely on this overall effort in preparing our young lady for December 16th. Thank you. We are due for another break. When we come back, we'll have back on Mrs. Sidoni, CEO of Events Saint Lucia, and Ms. Tyler Theophane, as well as a representative from the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority. Stay with us.
For over 70 years, Miss World has been the planet's most prominent beauty pageant, expanding its scope and moving with the times. Today, Miss World has transformed into a celebration of women's intellect, achievement, and beauty. The format of Miss World today has vastly changed, and it's leading the way in catering to our ever-changing society and the increased demands of fans. Miss World's dedicated social media channels, news stories, and daily broadcasts generate huge viewing figures around the globe. Always evolving and continually looking for new ways to innovate, Miss World introduced a new event in 2017 with the Head-to-Head Challenge.
I'm Frankie Chenna, and this is the Miss World Head-to-Head Challenge,
featuring a daily magazine-style show.
You can also stay up to date by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Mobstar, Twitter, and YouTube,
including interviews and special features with every single contestant.
The whole social media world has lit up because of Miss World Head-to-Head Challenge.
This event proved to be hugely popular, and across all of our social media platforms in 2019 generated a staggering 1.3 billion views, with 15 million votes being cast. That's a new record for Miss World. Over the years, Miss World has had close ties with major international events, from the Olympics to the Football World Cup, using the popularity of the show to further increase support for host cities. Today, the organization continues its long-standing social responsibility program, Beauty with a Purpose.
It means leading by example. It means doing what's right, not what's easy.
This commitment to helping those in need doesn't stop with the final. It's a year-round program which travels the globe helping the most disadvantaged.
When you see something that's wrong, you don't look away. You act upon it and you become the change.
This is a huge commitment from the reigning Miss World, as she, the Continental Queens, and the Miss World CEO, Julia Morley, travel to countries in crisis as they launch humanitarian campaigns to raise money and global support for the most needy in our society.
Every Miss World has a legacy. Every Miss World has a passion. And by building on one another's legacies, we create change.
It's a very emotional moment.
Nelson Mandela therefore salutes the Beauty with a Purpose program.
The Miss World event is constantly evolving, keeping the format fresh and innovative. This year, our media partners will have a host of brand new content featuring 22 half-hour head-to-head challenge shows, a 70th anniversary special event featuring past winners, a 2-hour highlights feature showcasing the best of 70 years of Miss World, a red carpet special event in the build-up to the Miss World final, and for the first time ever, a 3-hour global telecast.
Puerto Rico!
Which means more fashion, more beauty, and more Miss World. Miss World is truly a global event and spans the 4 corners of the earth.
I feel like I'm walking through history every step I take here in Washington, D.C.
Claiming its rightful place as the biggest beauty event on the planet. For 70 years, the Miss World event has been bringing countries together in a celebration of beauty, fashion, and intellect. And for the very first time in its history, the Miss World Festival moves to Latin America. An agreement has been reached to host the 70th anniversary Miss World Final in the stunning tropical paradise of Puerto Rico.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to this press conference to formally, officially announce the Miss St. Lucia World 2021, Miss Tyler Theophane. We have her back on set with us, and we'd like to thank the earlier speakers weighing in on how they're going to contribute toward this effort as we are on the road toward December 16th, 2021. Export St. Lucia, the Cultural Development Foundation, and CIP St. Lucia. As I said, we have the Queen back on set. We also have the Chief over at Events Saint Lucia, and we are joined also now by the Marketing Manager, right, of the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority, Mr. Christopher Gustave. Welcome back to you two ladies, and the thorn in our midst, Mr. Gustave. Yes. I want to start with Mr. Gustave. If you could just speak to us about the role that the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority is going to play on this journey to Miss World.
Thank you, Jessy. And I want to take time out to say good evening to everyone listening and watching. Jessy, to tell you the truth, we're extremely excited at the SLTA to partner with Events Saint Lucia on this initiative. I mean, Saint Lucia, as everybody knows, is simply stunning and beautiful. And we have someone who is the epitome of that. Mm-hmm. Tyler is beautiful and she's stunning, and she will represent Saint Lucia very well. From our point of view, we really want to make her the face of Saint Lucia for the next couple of months.
Nice.
You know, we want to be able to harness the pride of the nation, not only locally, but in the diaspora as well. So we'll use her in a lot of campaigns moving forward and develop an integrated marketing campaign, especially social media, to get her out there, to make her known to not only locally, but to the diaspora as well.
Wonderful. And coming back to you, Ms. Sidoni, to the preparations, we've just heard from CDF, we've heard from Invest St. Lucia, we've heard from, I don't want to miss anybody, CIP. You definitely are buttressed in this instance, in this effort with Miss World. How are you feeling going forward into this project?
To be quite honest, Jessy, sometimes it's a little daunting because we know the plans that we have, and we just want to make sure that we can get it all done. We firmly believe that if we were to get through the agenda of preparation that we have planned for Tyler and her team, that we'd make a significant mark at the Miss World competition come December. We do have a robust agenda in place, all geared towards her training and development, and we think that if we can just stick to the agenda and get it all done, then we'd be in good standing.
Wonderful.
Yes, so feeling good about it, to answer your question directly.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. I just want to touch on a subject that if I don't, I'm certain members of the media will later on when we do engage them, when we do field questions from the media watching us via Zoom. We did have sort of a hiccup. So while we had the quiet auditioning happening, yes, quite louder was this concern emerging, yes, was the issue with the auditing process. Yes. Mm-hmm. So tell us, iron out everything for us, make us feel really good about this going forward.
Yes, okay, sure. Unfortunately, I guess errors happen, and unfortunately this was one of those situations, and I mean, it by no means was it our intention to pull a Steve Harvey, as one media house humorously put it, but that is what happened. So our auditor, who was obviously in charge of the master sheet, in compiling all of the judges' scores and putting the scores into the master sheet, when it came to the talent, which coincidentally carried the greatest weight and therefore would have the greatest impact if it wasn't done properly, instead of pulling the total scores, only pulled one of the subcategories. And because of that, it skewed the placings and the scores. So yes, we did have a bit of a hiccup. Unfortunately, we were given the result that another young lady, and I mean, we do extend our deepest, sympathies that happened, because we can well imagine how distressing it was. So we announced her as the winner, and immediately leaving the stage and about to clear the area, the auditor came to us and said, apologies, but there is an error. I mean, Jessy, it's such a difficult moment, but you have to do what's right. Integrity always has to win out, you know, and I think that's what we did, and we're sorry, we apologize. The auditors issued a public apology. They explained what happened. We cannot divorce ourselves from it. Events was part of it, albeit that the mistake came from the auditing firm, but Events was part of it, and we take full responsibility. We're not going to divorce ourselves from it. It was extremely unfortunate, but you know, lessons learned. I mean, going forward, we know what we have to do, especially if we're not confined with the numbers, as we were in the case of, you know, the protocols. But we knew there was a mistake. Unfortunately, the following day was a public holiday. So whereas persons are saying it took a while for us to declare what happened, one must be reminded of the context within which it happened. So the show happened this Sunday evening. From the time we were told by the auditor, listen, I think something is wrong with this spreadsheet. So this is maybe about 15-20 minutes after declaring another young lady as the selected person to be Miss St. Lucia World. The first thing we did is call the young lady who we declared the winner, and we said, listen, we think there's a problem. Can you just please hold off on making any public announcement? We need to iron out something. The next day was a public holiday, as I said, but it didn't stop us from getting the judges and the auditors together to go through the entire spreadsheet with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that there was an error and that it was fixed. That took the majority of the day, and at the beginning of that day, we had already reached out to all the participants to let them know that something is not quite right. We don't have a statement yet, but please, we will be in touch with you. The following day, Tuesday, we called each of the young ladies in. Obviously, we spoke to the two that would be most impacted by it, Tyler and Alika Frederick. That's who we declared the winner on the night. We explained the situation. The auditor, CTA Solutions, they were there. They explained everything. They went through the public apology, apologized to Alika in particular, and then we sent through a press statement explaining what had happened, and above all, apologizing profusely that a mistake like that had happened. But mistakes happen, and we're very, very sorry that it had to happen this way.
Wonderful, and I think that is actually comforting for everyone involved that the right thing was done ultimately.
Yes, yes,
wonderful.
We won't have it any other way.
Okay, and Ms. Theophane, I would imagine that you have, you know, stranger to your competitors in this space. I can imagine the sensitivities associated. Could you tell me if there are any hard feelings among the group of beautiful ladies? We hope everyone had soft hearts.
When it first started off, we were very understanding of the situation. Of course, that's what everybody wanted to do, the right thing. But Alika and I are both from the same community, and we're basically a very close-knit family. So our family really did take a hit. But as you know, if we're a close-knit family, as I say we are, we will see it through. But I know for a fact that no matter what happened, whatever has already happened, what's going to come next is that we're always going to be there for each other. We're always going to support each other, because if it happened to me, or if the tables were turned, I should say, I would definitely want her to go on stage, and I would definitely be supporting her throughout the journey.
Wonderful. Not only queenly, but humane as well.
Yes.
I want to move on to the offshoots of the Miss St. Lucia World. We know that there are other plans in store aside from the direct preparation for selecting a queen and also preparing her for the international event.
Sure. So we had spoken about the number of classes and training and development that we have lined up for Miss Theophane. What we're hoping to do, Jessy, is send out an ad advertising for these positions or vacancies, if you may. We're hoping that that is wrapped up, let's say, towards the end of June, and we can put the professionals in place. It would mean then that maybe, let's say, and I'm just talking off the top of my head without really looking at the agenda, twice a week Tyler would have elocution classes. She would definitely need to be in a gym. Not that she has work to do, but I mean, it's Miss World and she has to keep toned. She would have to be in a gym, let's say 3-4 times a week. So we're looking for a coach. However, we're also looking for somebody that will help with her stamina and her fitness, because again, Miss World has a fitness challenge. So you actually have to be physically fit and, you know, have quite a bit of stamina. So we're looking for somebody that will do that as well. Get her up to, I think she's fairly athletic, but get her up to par. We're looking at somebody, and again, CDF will play a great role there to make sure that she has a cultural wardrobe, but that she can speak the language and feel the language, and, you know, and really have the passion to sell St. Lucia from a cultural perspective. So there are a number of things in place that's going to happen between now and December 16th.
Wonderful. So overall thorough and robust training and development.
Yes.
Okay. We are now going to field questions from the media joining us via Zoom, and until we can get that sorted out, I just want to engage you, Ms. Theophane. Talk to us about the charities. You indicated that the Miss World is big on the charitable efforts. How can we see you zoning in on that?
Wonderful. So I've actually been very much involved in a lot of charities, even outside of being involved in Miss World currently. I would definitely see that, well, I don't know if anybody follows my Instagram pages or my social media, but they would see that I have a great interest in assisting youth, the underprivileged youth, and also just assisting them in terms of finding recreational activities for them, providing them with educational support, and with the opportunity to be an ambassador for St. Lucia at Miss World. Of course, when I do win that title, there is great opportunity for St. Lucia, for our people to definitely gain from those resources that they're willing to provide to us. Of course, I will not only sit back and allow them to be involved in providing those resources, but I will also utilize the different resources that I would be getting from, for example, our sponsors, the persons who are willing to support throughout my journey.
Wonderful. And at this time, we now welcome questions from the media. Roger, is there anyone from the media at this time who would like to pose a question to the Miss St. Lucia World 2021, or the Chief Executive Officer of Events Saint Lucia? We also have on set from the St. Lucia Tourism Authority the Marketing Manager, Mr. Christopher Gustave. Okay. Do we have a question? Okay. Okay, so we're not seeing any questions at this time. So I think safe to say that we can wrap up, and I will now offer you the opportunity, Ms. Sidoni, to offer closing remarks.
Sure. Just need to share with the St. Lucia, Jessy, the objectives of this venture. And there are many objectives, but as PS said, PSVT, it's really an opportunity to showcase St. Lucia on the international stage, to let the international audience know that St. Lucia is open and ready for business. And SLTA is going to do a fantastic job, I know, making sure that the marketing that goes behind this Miss World venture sends a very clear and loud message to tourists, to persons who have even a slight interest in St. Lucia, to let them know that we're in the game, we're in the business, and we're open for business. So that's one of our main objectives, pushing the destination brand. Secondly, as you said, Jessy, and again, PS also said it, raising the level of pageantry in the St. Lucia. So by making this a Miss World selection, Miss St. Lucia pageant, it means therefore that we have participants that can aspire to something, you know, that is greater. There's a big incentive at the end of the win. So we really want to make the pageants going forward something of a higher caliber. selecting the creme de la creme, as somebody said, to make sure that the level of pageantry in St. Lucia is raised and continues to rise, so that we keep aspiring for greater things. Thirdly, our partners. We have maybe the most influential St. Lucia agencies behind us for this pageant. So we have Export St. Lucia, Cultural Development Foundation, Citizenship by Investment, or as we call them, CIP St. Lucia, of course Events Saint Lucia, and Invest St. Lucia. We're still talking to them. We're not quite sure if they're going to be fully on board, but we are speaking with them. And I am missing one. St. Lucia Tourism Authority, sorry,
right.
Closer to God, further from me, you know? Yes, so we have those agencies behind us, and what we want to do is capitalize on the opportunities that this Miss World affiliation and brand association can bring. So it's really a sort of threefold, in a simple sense, set of objectives that we're trying to achieve, and we know with the backing and the support and the resources that we want to put into this, that all objectives in terms of pushing the brand and capitalizing on investment opportunities, we will be able to realize those opportunities.
Wonderful. And as you indicated, with every organization coming on board, the crown gets heavier and heavier. The expectation gets bigger and bigger. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure at all, but we wish you all the best on your journey, and we know it's more than just the actual event, but the preparation, as with pageantry, the preparation toward that activity. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Any admonition, any plea, any word that you want to give out to St. Lucians at this time?
Before I give any words, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for the persons who supported me. Thank you for the persons who are being here to take me this far. For example, our partners, especially Ms. Maneva, she's always there to very keep me guided throughout the day. I want to say thank you to my persons from Choiseul, the community, the St. Lucians who are currently supporting me, and I look forward to having the support from everyone in St. Lucia, because I'm not only doing this for me, I'm doing this for us. And I want to say thank you to my mom and my entire family.
Wonderful. We do have a question from the media. So the first note that I got from the tech team was that we have no questions. I was like, huh? No questions from the media in St. Lucia? We do have a question, this one coming from Masana Morrison. Will there be some sort of documentary on her journey leading to the competition?
Yes, and I think Masana is reading our marketing plan. Masana, yes, but we do have, as part of the marketing, several initiatives. But we want St. Lucia and the diaspora as well to fall in love again and again and again with Tyler. So we do have a documentary that we're planning, which will sort of map out how she's getting ready, what she's going through, you know, little snippets of what she has to endure, for want of a better word, as she gets ready for Miss World 2021.
Wonderful. And just wrapping up, we do have a comment, I believe, coming through our Facebook platform, coming from Justine Aurelia. Truth be told, this is a powerful support team, A-team, dream team. All the right agencies are on board with Events Saint Lucia acquiring official Miss World license. This will drastically improve the brand and continually raise the bar moving forward.
Well, thank you. And we need to put on our marketing team. Very well said.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. And with that, I think safe to say we can close with the media satisfied, the general public watching on air and online. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us for this auspicious occasion, the formal announcement of St. Lucia's representative at Miss World this year, Miss St. Lucia World 2021, Miss Tyler Theophane. All the best again. And I'd like to say on behalf of Events Company St. Lucia that you do continue to keep track. We will be having the journaling of this journey, this event, and you do keep track on what is happening with Events Company St. Lucia with Tyler. Follow her on Instagram, show her your support. I'm certain that there are social media incentives associated with this competition. So do support her in any way that you can, participate in any way that you can. Until we have Events St. Lucia, Events Company St. Lucia back in studio, we hope that you keep safe, support this effort. It is really important. And continue adhering to the protocols I continue to put in. Keep safe. My name is Jessy Leonce, signing off for now. Stay tuned to NTN for more programming from the Government of St. Lucia. Goodbye. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.